Coming next right here on the Fortminorproject channel, pretty much my shortened review of WWE Payback. You know what's coming up next. As always, roll that damn intro.
Inside me, a light was turned on. Then I was alive. If you close your eyes, your life, a naked truth revealed. The dreams you never lived and scars never healed. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. And find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes.
Alright, so as I'm still pretty much rendering what was able to happen for S&D's Google Hangout and for my In the Hot Seat Live takeover, so that should be up on my channel pretty soon, and I'm still rendering with all that process and everything, so that's going to be taking quite some time. So while that's going to be able to save up on my computer and everything and have it uploaded right here on the channel, I figure I'll go at it with my solo review and shortened review, if you will, on WWE Payback from last night. And overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. You know, I feel like it could have been a lot more done better. We did see some things that ended in controversy and a couple other stuff that did happen. With the kickoff matches, we actually not had one, but we also had two. With that being said, so that took me kind of by surprise, where we had Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler on the show, and basically where we had Dolph Ziggler take out Baron Corbin, and that was that. And kind of going to be interesting to see where that goes, but I do like Baron Corbin on the main roster, so we'll leave it at that. Then we had Ryback and Kalisto go at it in their WrestleMania 32 rematch, which I thought this match was a lot more better than their actual WrestleMania match in itself, if you ask me. And Kalisto was able to retain and keep the US title, which hopefully we get to see other better things going for Kalisto for the US Championship, since I would like to see other feuds going with him for that. Then with the main card, where we had the New Day actually starting things off and basically saying how much they're excited on who's going to be able to face them, and pretty much it really doesn't matter to them at that point. And when we had Enzo and Cass and the Vaudevillains go at it, actually ended up cutting it short, where Enzo basically had a bad ricochet on the second and bottom ropes, and that ended nasty as all hell. And hopefully that doesn't affect him in the long run, and hopefully the injury isn't any more serious than it looks. And unfortunately that does happen in WWE, so basically the match was called off, and kind of got me thinking, especially on the show, was that going to be able to have the Vaudevillains actually get the win, basically as it is like that, and face the New Day, which I was thinking would happen anyway regardless, but I didn't want to have it seen like that, so it kind of sucks to be able to have that happen for Enzo, and he didn't deserve that. So wishing the very best and the speedy recovery, definitely for sure. And we'll see what happens with Raw and a couple of other updates throughout the coming weeks, and hoping for the best for Enzo. I was looking forward into hopefully seeing him May the 14th, but that's pretty much up in the air at this point. But we'll see, and hopefully things will go well for Enzo Amore. Then when we had things where we had the official start off for the show, even though we didn't have things go well for the last match, so we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn start things off. It was really great, one of my favorite matches of the night between the two. Love the chemistry, basically seeing it as where we would see it on NXT now on the main roster, and ended up being more than just them fighting it out, and actually have it more be for the Intercontinental Championship, which will come into play in the next part of this video. So with that said, Kevin Owens was able to get the win, being interviewed by Baron Saxton, and basically saying that he can do a lot more better even on commentary, and actually enjoy the next match to see who would be able to face him. And since he wants to be able to be IC champion, and that comes into play with the next match. And Cesaro and The Miz was actually a pretty good match. Not exactly one of my favorite ones, but you know, it wasn't bad for what it was. And I like that Miz is with Maurice now, and seeing Maurice come back is really cool, and something that adds a lot more to The Miz. It makes it feel a lot more interesting now, so that adds a little bit more of an element to it. And The Miz was able to actually keep the Intercontinental Championship still, basically due to the interference of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn coming back and attacking Kevin Owens and having this whole brawl and everything, and basically possibly leading to a fatal four, as I mentioned on the show. So we'll see what happens with with that, and the Miz was able to retain overall as a result of that. Next, when we had Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho, one of my other favorite matches of the night, next to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and these two going at it back and forth. I really liked the chemistry between these two as well, and was hoping to see actually Dean Ambrose get the win, but at the same time, I kind of felt like Chris Jericho was going to get the win. And the last time Dean Ambrose was able to get his win, as I was stated on the show, that it was at the Royal Rumble, so thanks to Thrashmania 99 for that little tip there. So it's actually pretty crazy. It's been that long and it's been quite a while. So hopefully that will keep up for Dean Ambrose, and I'm happy he was able to get the win. And I like the new show that he's doing too with the Ambrose Asylum and everything. So this feud might continue. We'll see. Have to wait and see what else is going to be with that. So who knows? Then when we had the women's championship on the line, and actually stated before, where the women's championship being brought back, I like the title with basically old school and new school type of look, and it's really cool to be able to see that type of thing now for the women now, and that's something I feel like they actually deserve. And this match was a great match. Of course, when we had Charlotte, and she was able to have, of course, as always, with her father Rick, and not only that, we had Natalia with Bret Hart, and Bret Hart actually showing up wasn't too bad at all, if you ask me. So, with that being said, I know Charlotte can do a lot more. We've seen her do a lot more on NXT, and we always need to see her father help her with her battles and everything. As much as I love Charlotte and everything, and I kind of actually saw Natalia getting the win. However, that wasn't the case, and basically had another screw job, which is crazy insane as we saw it and as it was, and that basically led to Charlotte keeping the title and everything. And who knows where it's going to be going down from here. After that, at this point, maybe a rematch on Raw or something. Who knows? But Charlotte was able to once again keep the title, and we'll see what happens with that. Then we had a decision to see who would be running for Raw, and Mr. McMahon coming out basically trying to make the decision for Stephanie and Shane. And at the point where it's actually having the both of them run Raw, where everyone thought maybe the brand split will come back. It still probably could, but I kind of see Triple H coming back and wanting to take power overall. Then maybe face Shane at SummerSlam and then have the match be at it there, as we mentioned too, for in the Hot Seat Live takeover. So I do see that happening pretty much, and see how long as Shane and Stephanie can be able to try and get along. That's going to be something worth seeing, and see how they're going to be basically torn between setting up matches and whatnot and trying to take orders. So we'll see where that goes, and that should be definitely something to see for sure. Then there's nowhere else to go but the main event, WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns and AJ Styles, and AJ Styles' first main event pay-per-view for WWE, and it was really cool to see him be able to have that happen for him. So I was happy, and I was in the way kind of hoping he would get the championship, but at the same time I knew he wasn't, since Roman just recently won it at WrestleMania, so it kind of didn't make sense in that aspect. But seeing that happen for AJ Styles and being the main event was cool, even though we did have to the point where we had the count out and Roman basically not getting up at to the count of 10, and then Stephanie coming out, making the match to now no holds barred and restarting it, which is cool. Which I believe it was actually Shane that actually started that, restarted the match. As I get mistaken with that. So yeah, it was actually Shane who was able to restart the match, and then we had the match continue where Roman Reigns was able to still get the win. We had the Bullet Club there, basically trying to help out AJ Styles, if you will, and then kind of thinking maybe Finn Balor might show up, and Seth Rollins was rumored to appear and maybe at least make an appearance and have an injury update. I would have liked to see that, but that didn't happen either. So I'm pretty sure Finn Balor will be able to show up maybe in time for Extreme Rules. So that's still the chance too, and we'll see what happens with that, since that would be pretty damn dope to see Finn Balor on the main roster alone itself. So yeah, that about does it for basically with the whole thing on Payback. What are your own thoughts and opinions? Definitely feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comment box, and still feel free to send your videos for my 10-year celebration right here on YouTube, my 10-year anniversary, which officially falls on May the 26th, so you have it till the 25th to send in your videos, and I'll be sending that out uh, as it happens on the 26th on that very day. And then it's basically giving my thanks, like I mentioned in the video update, for you guys being a part of this channel. If you're new, continue to subscribe, And as always, I will catch you guys in the next video, whenever the hell that may be. Peace.